Leopold II of Belgium. Leopold II ruled Belgium from 1865 to 1909 and personally controlled the Congo Free State from 1885. His primary aim was extracting rubber and ivory for economic gain. Under his administration, forced labor, brutal punishments, and systematic violence caused the deaths of millions of Congolese people. Villages were destroyed, and workers who failed to meet quotas were mutilated or executed. The international community gradually exposed these atrocities, prompting the Belgian government to annex the Congo in 1908. Leopold's personal wealth grew enormously while the local population suffered. The long-term consequences included demographic collapse, social disruption, and the establishment of exploitative colonial practices. His rule is remembered as one of the most egregious examples of economic exploitation and human rights violations during the colonial era, influencing modern discussions on imperialism and accountability. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin ruled the Soviet Union from 1924 to 1953. After Lenin's death, he consolidated power through purges and political repression. Stalin's policies included forced collectivization, resulting in famine that killed millions, and the establishment of the Gulag system. During World War II, he oversaw massive mobilization, defending the Soviet Union against the German invasion in 1941 and later launching counteroffensives. His leadership contributed to Soviet victories at Stalingrad and Kursk. Meanwhile, authoritarian control suppressed dissent and maintained strict censorship. By the time of his death, millions had died under his rule. Stalin's legacy shaped Soviet politics for decades, creating a highly centralized state and influencing global geopolitics during the Cold War. His methods remain a cautionary example of the dangers of absolute power and political repression. Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong led China from 1949 to 1976, founding the People's Republic of China. His rise followed decades of civil war and Japanese occupation. Mao implemented radical campaigns, including the Great Leap Forward, which aimed to industrialize rapidly. Poor planning and forced collectivization caused widespread famine, resulting in tens of millions of deaths. Later, the Cultural Revolution sought to eliminate political rivals and enforce ideological conformity, leading to persecution and destruction of cultural artifacts. Mao's leadership consolidated Communist Party control and reshaped Chinese society. Despite the human cost, he maintained political dominance until his death. His legacy influenced China's political structure, economic policies, and global role, leaving a complex historical record of modernization coupled with widespread suffering. Pol Pot. Pol Pot led Cambodia as head of the Khmer Rouge from 1975 to 1979. He aimed to create a classless agrarian society, forcibly relocating urban populations to rural labor camps. Intellectuals, professionals, and perceived opponents were executed or died from starvation, disease, and overwork, resulting in approximately 2 million deaths. Pol Pot abolished private property, schools, and religious institutions while enforcing strict agricultural production. The turning point occurred when Vietnamese forces invaded Cambodia in 1978, capturing the capital and forcing the Khmer Rouge into the countryside. Pol Pot continued guerrilla operations until his death in 1998. His regime left Cambodia devastated, with lasting social, cultural, and economic consequences. The Cambodian genocide became a key example of extreme totalitarianism, demonstrating the consequences of radical ideology imposed through violence and mass repression. Mengistu Haile Mariam. Mengistu Haile Mariam ruled Ethiopia from 1977 to 1991, following a military coup that overthrew Emperor Haile Selassie. He led the Derg, a Marxist-Leninist military junta, consolidating power through purges, executions, and forced labor. Mengistu implemented the Red Terror, targeting political opponents, intellectuals, and suspected dissenters, resulting in tens of thousands of deaths. Meanwhile, his forced collectivization and resettlement programs caused famine and widespread suffering, particularly in northern Ethiopia. The turning point came in 1991 when rebel forces captured Addis Ababa, ending his regime. Mengistu fled to Zimbabwe, where he lived in exile. His rule left Ethiopia devastated, with a legacy of human rights violations, economic disruption, and social trauma. Mengistu's regime serves as a stark example of the dangers of absolute power combined with radical ideology enforced through violence and repression.